Louis Joliet was a French-Canadian explorer known for his discoveries in North America. Joliet and Jesuit Father Jacques Marquette, a Catholic priest and missionary, were the first non-natives to explore and map the Mississippi River in 1673. Early life. Joliet was born in 1645 in a French settlement near Quebec City. When he was 7 years old, his father died, but his mother remarried a successful merchant. Joliet's stepfather owned land on the Isle d'Orléans, an island in the St. Lawrence River in Quebec that was home to First Nations. Joliet spent much time on Isle d'Orléans, so it was likely that he began speaking Aboriginal languages at a young age. During his childhood, Quebec was the center of the French fur trade. The natives were part of day-to-day life in Quebec, and Joliet grew up knowing a lot about them. He entered a Jesuit school as a child and focused on philosophical and religious studies, aiming for priesthood. He also studied music, becoming a skilled harpsichordist and church organist. Yet he decided to leave the seminary as an adult and pursued fur trading instead. Joliet attended a Jesuit school in Quebec and received minor orders in 1662, but abandoned his plans to become a priest in 1667. He spoke French, English, and Spanish. Discovery of the Upper Mississippi. While Hernando de Soto was the first European to make official note of the Mississippi River by discovering its entrance in 1541, Joliet and Marquette were the first to locate its upper reaches, and travel most of its length. About 130 years later, de Soto had named the river Rio del Espiritu Santo, but tribes along its length called it variations of Mississippi. On May 17, 1673, Joliet and Marquette departed from St. Ignace, Michigan with 2 canoes and 5 other voyages of French Indian ancestry. The group followed Lake Michigan to the end of Green Bay. They then paddled upstream on the Fox River to the site now known as Portage, Wisconsin. There they portaged a distance of slightly less than 2 miles through marsh and oak forest to the Wisconsin River. Europeans eventually built a trading post at the shortest convenient portage between the Great Lakes and Mississippi River basins. On June 17, the canoeists ventured onto the Mississippi River near present-day Prairie du Chien. The Joliet-Marquette expedition traveled down the Mississippi to within 435 miles of the Gulf of Mexico. They turned back north at the mouth of the Arkansas River. By this point, they had encountered natives carrying European goods, and worried about a possible hostile encounter with explorers or colonists from Spain. The voyages then followed the Mississippi back to the mouth of the Illinois River, which friendly natives told them was a shorter route back to the Great Lakes. Following the Illinois River upstream, they then turned up its tributary, the Des Plaines River near modern-day Joliet, Illinois. They then continued up the Des Plaines River and portaged the canoes and gear at the Chicago Portage. They then followed the Chicago River downstream until they reached Lake Michigan near the location of modern-day Chicago. Father Marquette stayed at the mission of St. Francis Xavier at the southern end of Green Bay, which they reached in August. Joliet returned to Quebec to relate the news of the discoveries. Marquette returned to what later became the Illinois country in late 1674. He became the first Europeans to winter over in what would become the city of Chicago later years. Joliet married Claire Françoise Bissett Le Valtry, who was Canadian. She was a daughter of François Bissett Le Rivière and his wife Marie Couillard. Claire Françoise was also a sister of Louise Bissot de la Valtrie, wife of Séraphin de Margan, Seigneur de la Valtrie. In 1680, Jolliet was granted the island of Anticosti, where he created a fort and maintained soldiers. In 1693, he was appointed royal hydrographer, and on April 30, 1697, he was granted a seigneury southwest of Quebec City which he named Joliet. In 1694, he sailed from the Gulf of St. Lawrence north along the coast of Labrador as far north as Zor, a voyage of 5.5 months. He recorded details of the country, navigation, the Inuit and their customs. His journal is the earliest known detailed survey of the Labrador coast from the Strait of Belle Isle to Zor. In May 1700, Louis Joliet left for Anticosti Island and was presumed to have died. A mass for his soul was said on September 15, 1700. His body was never found, and the place and date of his death remained unknown. Joliet was one of the first people of European descent born in North America to be remembered for significant discoveries. Though no authentic period portrait is known to exist, Joliet is often portrayed wearing either typical frontiersman garb such as a fur hat or in sharp contrast, ensconced in the European nobleman's style that his personal wealth and prestige would have commanded although living in colonial society. Legacy. Louis's main legacy is most tangible in the Midwestern United States and Quebec, mostly through geographical names, including the cities of Joliet, Illinois, Joliet, Montana, and Joliet, Quebec. The several variations in the spelling of the name Joliet reflect spelling that occurred at times when illiteracy or poor literacy was common, and spelling was still highly unstandardized. Joliet's descendants lived throughout eastern Canada and the United States. The Louis Joliet Rose, developed by Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, was named in his honor. The Joliet Squadron of Cadets at the Royal Military College Saint-Jean in the province of Quebec was named in his honor. Joliet Junior College in Joliet, Illinois is named after the explorer, as are numerous high schools in North America. A cruise ship sailing out of Quebec City is also named in his honor.